I'm Mike Whittington. I'm the president of Matchpoint Recruiting. I started the company in January of 2023. Our focus is on the consumer goods industry. A majority of our clients are smaller to mid-size companies, usually under $1 billion. We work all across the country. We're located in Bentonville, and we have Christy Martin as our talent manager, John Brett as our director of business development, Mary Adeva as our social media manager, and then we have a couple of others, recruiters that we can use in sourcing and helping us when we have really complex positions that we're working on. For many companies, Walmart and Sam's are the biggest customers. And so, it's a larger volume. It's usually a faster pace than other retailers. And we like to think of this, we're biased in this market, we like to think of this as the major leagues. And so most companies want their varsity team here. We built our business really on relationships in this market, both with clients and with candidates. And so when we are looking for talent, we're able to reach out to that network that we've built, through our combined 50 years of experience in recruiting in Northwest Arkansas. We think it's all about communication, keeping everyone informed in the process. So for candidates, that means keeping them up to date on where they are in the process, any feedback may have. We also prep our candidates for every interview. So we are very engaged with the candidate throughout the process, but also with the client as well. We give the client feedback on what the candidate is thinking. We hopefully get more insights than what they may find on a resume. We're able to talk more about the candidate and give a different level of different view of what we see with the candidate. And so for us, it is all about communicating and keeping everybody, in the loop. And most importantly is there's no ghosting at all, which is really a big topic in the recruiting world right now, and candidates and clients are seeing it. Double vetting our candidates is super important to us, and it allows us to put multiple sets of eyes. As I mentioned, we have over 50 years of experience in recruiting, and as I mentioned, we also are really divided up more by function. So Christy is our talent manager. John, as director of business development, handles client management and developing business, and I handle operations and client management. But we're all involved in every search. So we have different views. We don't always agree on everything, but it allows us to get a different perspective, to go ask the right questions of candidates, and to really be engaged with them enough that we know that we are representing them in the best light, and also to find out what is the best fit for them as well. As far as emplacements, I think it's really helped us a lot because we spend more time with the candidate. We're able to give more information to the client, and when we find that right fit, we feel really confident that it's a great match for both parties. We want to keep building relationships with clients and candidates. And one of the things that's so important now is in recruiting, it's so much more than a resume and a job description. And since we talk to so many people, we get some valuable insights that we can pass on to both parties. We can give them insights into how similar companies are structured. This is for the client companies. Compensation ranges. We do a market analysis here in Northwest Arkansas that we share with our clients when they are looking to kind of gauge what the market is paying for different positions. And so it's not just the search. We want to be considered a consultative advisor to the company and be an extension of their talent acquisition, and really marketing teams, because we're really marketing their company there. So we hope that we're able to go deeper with companies and building that relationship, and not think of it as just, one search and done. We can give them so much more information, and we love doing it, so that we make sure that our clients are kept not only in the loop, but they know exactly what's going on through the process, and additional information that we can give them to help them make the best hire. I have a great recent example of a tough challenge that was a challenging search, but it was a critical position for our client. They called and talked to us about Scintilla, and they had just purchased Scintilla, but no one in the company knew how to use it. No one had had any experience with it at all. So they reached out to us to find someone who had actually an analyst who had used Scintilla. And since it is so new, it makes it more challenging because Scintilla hasn't been around for years. So as we went through the search, our talent manager, Christy, connected with a fantastic candidate. But the candidate was actually had much more experience and was above the compensation range. But because the person was so good, and we felt like, hey, there's something here, we thought it would be a good idea to go ahead and make the introduction to the client. And after a couple of conversations, the client told us this is exactly what we needed. They elevated the position completely. It was a dream job for the candidate, and really at the time, the candidate didn't even have an updated resume, was not really on the market at all. It was just a fantastic match, and it solved a huge problem for the company. And now for the candidate, I think he'll be building out an analytics team for the company. I think it was probably one of the most satisfying placements I've had in my 23 years of recruiting. I think being local helps us be part of the supplier ecosystem. We're able to speak the language and talk with our candidates and clients. I think with more knowledge about what's going on in the local market, we see these candidates and clients out at events. It's great to put a face with the name, and being local allows us to build, I think, stronger relationships there. I found a great candidate at a Razorback game, and got a new client through pickleball, all because we're local here. And I think, being in this market brings a lot of credibility, not only here, but outside of here, because as I mentioned before, the varsity teams are here. It's kind of the same thought process that, this is the major leagues. And if we can recruit here and find great talent, maybe we can do it in other markets. And that's really how our business has grown nationally, so that we are working in Chicago, Charlotte, Jacksonville, Cincinnati, and some other markets. I think one of the biggest stumbling blocks that I see companies make is they don't have a strategy for hiring. It's a pretty extensive process. Not that it has to be long at all, but there has to really be a game plan. You have to know who the stakeholders are. You have to know what the interview process will look like, who the decision makers will be. Will there be individual interviews, panel interviews? There are a lot of decisions to make before starting the search. And what I think happens many times is a company will just jump into it and just have the job description and just throw it out there. And then they get to a part of the process where there's a long delay because they haven't planned out the interview process, or it could even be an issue with the job description was not on point. And so it's caused some confusion, or kept them from getting some candidates that would be great fits for the company. So I think that overall, I would probably say it's more of the strategy that lacks many times. And really, if you don't have the strategy and you don't have a game plan for how you're going to have the interview process and select candidates, if you don't have that, then you're really not ready to hire, because we've seen a lot of companies get into that situation where there's just this long delay, indecision, or confusion on who's making the decisions, or disagreement on what's they're really looking for. And I think that's something that good companies have a game plan, and they know what they're going to do it, and they're able to get the talent because they have a good process. Making the wrong hire can be a huge hit to the company. Really, financially, we look at it from the perspective it could be multiples of their base salary. Um, what we see, more than anything, it's lost productivity and a disruption to the team. It does a lot for morale when it doesn't work out and someone leaves. Not to mention the fact that new relationships have to be built both internally and with Walmart and or Sam's. And so you hope that there hasn't been damage done in any of those relationships, but it can be much more costly than just finding a new person in there to replace the one that was a mishire. If you're new to the Walmart ecosystem and you're just trying to break in, it's a challenge, but it can happen. It's something that we recommend, candidates to build on their network. A lot of times that first position is kind of being in the right place in the right time and having those connections with your network that can open some doors or give you that chance if they know your work ethic, know that you're a good person, that that you're a fast learner on that. Also recommend the retail analyst program at Northwest Arkansas Community College is very good and can get people on the right path to get into the supplier community. As far as those that are there that are trying to grow their career, it's really about having a game plan there as well. You have to know what you want to do, what skills you bring, and to make sure you're on the right path to take those skills to another position. That's why it comes up so much in the interview process, where candidates will ask companies, what does career growth look like? Because they don't want to be in a situation where they're stagnant and not learning and growing. And so, we always recommend that you ask those questions in the interview process, and that you're constantly pushing, for more opportunity and for more chances to learn within your company to, in the long run, to make yourself more marketable internally or externally if you do happen to leave the company. Recruiter ready. That's a funny term, but it makes total sense. What it really means to us is that you had your resume together, you have your LinkedIn profile ready, you have examples of your work, you are ready to go into the job market. Even if it's not time yet, you are prepared for it. So when that time comes and you make the decision to make a career change, you are buttoned up and ready to go. And recruiters look at you as very marketable at that point. In our world, we call that an MPC, which is a most placeable candidate, which means they have everything together, they're ready. It's just a matter of us having the right position for them, because they're extremely placeable and marketable. They have a great resume, they've got good experience, they can talk about their experience, they can give examples, and they're just really an excellent candidate that could be a great hire for one of our clients. The most successful people we see, have a common trait that they want to win. They want their company to win. And, we always follow up with our candidates after we place them. And, a common theme is they talk about we, and they talk about team. And I guess there's some competitiveness to that, but they sincerely want to do better, not only for themselves, but for their company. So they're not just doing the job or doing the bare minimum or doing, just what the job description says. They are looking to grow. They're looking to help their company, and they're excited about it. And that's fun for us because when we hear that, hey, we have a candidate that went and saved the client a lot of money or made the client, more money by increasing shelf space or new products or whatever the case may be, it's really, really exciting. And you can pick up on that when we talk to the candidates after their place. And it's really kind of I would say more of a mindset, but it's good to hear when they have that feeling. We are hearing more and more about analytics. Regardless of the type of role, from analyst to VP, team lead, it's all about analytics, and it's more about consumer behavior. It's how analytics are used in pricing, promotions, assortment planning, uh, competitive intelligence. It's front and center, and as we're moving into more AI, I think we're going to see more about AI, how to use analytics in that. I know companies are into AI right now, and so I'd say data analytics and AI are kind of front and center right now, and we're starting to see it even more in job descriptions than we did before. I think we'll also see more dedication to e-com and omni-channel. Years ago, that was something that someone would just kind of take on as a side part of their business that they were doing. But now you have dedicated teams and a much bigger emphasis. So I think we'll see that as well. And then, unfortunately, I think we're going to be talking about tariffs as well. We're all going through that right now. Companies are trying to figure out how they handle that, and as long as that continues, I think we'll see a little bit of lack of stability in the market. And so those are the things that I think that we will finish out talking about in 2025. If I'm trying to build a really high performing team, I am going to recruit all the time. If I'm a company really looking to add A players, I'm always recruiting. And what that means is building that network, talking to the people that could be future candidates. When the job opens up, it's kind of like being recruiter ready, but on the candidate, on the client side, is they want to be ready. Then already had that network established, already have some go-tos as far as potential candidates, and we do that with our clients a lot. And what they basically ask us to do is, hey, keep your ear to the ground. If you see somebody that you feel like would be a possible fit for us, you feel like they could be a cultural fit, with what we, with our values and our mission and what we are doing, then let's go ahead and have coffee with them. And we have seen that be very, very successful on there. So it's not really interviewing, it's just more of a coffee meeting, but constantly recruiting, making those connections. And we've seen some placements out of that as well. But it certainly kind of alleviates that panic when you need to fill a position quickly. We've already got some of your network ready to go. Our focus is all about building relationships, and we want candidates and clients to have a great experience. And that's one of the things that, has kind of been missing in recruiting as it has become more transactional. And if there's anything that we can do to help, even if we are not working with you at this time, we want to do what we can to help you, whether that's, gain that new position or find that great candidate. And we'd love for you to connect with us, certainly on LinkedIn. You can reach out to us through our website at matchpointrecruiting.com, or just give us a call, and all of our information is there on our website. And we would just love to have the opportunity to build a relationship and just talk about your business or talk about your career. And it helps us to learn more. It helps us to be better. And if we can help you in any way, we would love to do it.